All day dripping in black Saint. Pull up in the fat Matt Black Range. I've been living my life in a fast lane. I'm a gang mate Spartan. Come through dripping in black Saint garments. All black, everything blacked out. Hoodie in a blacked out whip with blacked out.
And then I was basically in a vulnerable situation, and that's when it all started.
What started?
All the drugs started from there.
So you'd done, what drug was it?
Ketamine.
So you started your first drug on ketamine.
Mm-hmm.
That is a seriously hard drug for you to start with.
Yeah.
How was you getting your drugs? Because if you were off your face every day, you wouldn't have had a job to be able to do this.
No, I had my events, and I had, at the time, my family was support. Like, I'd be lying to family to get the money and stuff. I'd be doing anything I could to get the drugs. And then I got a flat, and then my staff and my flat actually said, look, you've got a problem.
What made them say that to you?
Because I'd go home off my nut, couldn't even walk straight.
How much were you doing a day?
I could do anywhere up to £200 a day if I had it. If I had the funds to.
So your mum
Yeah.
is a drug addict.
Yeah.
And your dad was a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Today we have a special guest, Michaela Cable, struggling with drug addiction. Young lady, you've been fighting for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, about a year and now.
Yeah. Take us back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Basically from like birth, I've not had a very good upbringing. Unfortunately, my mum, I was born on heroin, crack cocaine and speed. She's been doing that. That's possibly a little while now. I have gone down that route a little bit.
So your mum was doing serious hard drugs whilst she was pregnant with you?
Yes, she certainly was.
Was that the whole way through, was it?
Yeah, that's the whole way through, and she was still doing that. And then when I was 18 months old, we basically got sent to my grandparents on long-term residency order.
So what kind of what was your mum like? I mean, how did you not get took off of her from the start? Like you're being born like with heroin, crack, and speed in your body already on day one of the world.
Well, obviously, like, I don't quite know myself, but I think because my grandparents were around and my sister was there and stuff, they kept us.
Mm-hmm.
Mum managed to keep us for a little while. Tried with social services and stuff.
Do you still speak to your mum today?
No, I don't. All I know about Mum, she's in a care home now. I'm very ill.
Have you ever spoke to her about it?
No, I haven't spoke to my mum since I was 2.5 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
She just stopped wanting to see you, or was it like...
It was a court order that got put in place.
She must have been pretty bad for her to have you guys took off you. I mean, the fact that you were born on drugs must have been very bad on you. Not that you would remember that, but as life goes on, you now suffer with addiction. Do you think that being born on drugs was a part to play in why?
It was a part to play, possibly. Yeah, I do.
So you now live with your grandparents. Yeah. Not now, after when you was 18 months old, you got taken away by courts. Yeah. You're living with your grandparents. What was life like with your grandparents? Is it your mum's mum and dad?
Yeah, it's my mum's mum and dad. Life was alright as a child. It wasn't the best. I was brought up by them, just getting on. We kept moving schools and stuff quite a bit.
Because you was moving house, or because you just weren't settling
kept
in school?
Moving houses and stuff. I didn't really get actually settled in primary school at all.
Mm-hmm. Why was you moving?
Because Granny was in the RAF.
Oh, right. So you had a pretty strict kind of regime when it comes to living with your grandparents?
Yeah. To start with, primary school, and then it kind of all. To be honest, my childhood wasn't the best with grandparents. I didn't feel like they gave me what they could have done because they didn't understand my needs.
What were your needs?
Like my ADHD and my PTSD.
How old were you when you got diagnosed with this?
I've only just been diagnosed with them about a year ago.
Okay. So, you would have just been classed as a naughty kid then, yeah?
Very much was, so.
So what things did you do that made you made them think that you was just naughty and you didn't have a problem?
Like donut changes. Like as a kid, donut change. Like things would change, I'd flip.
Okay, yeah.
I'd be an absolute nightmare. I'd just sit there and scream my head off for hours as a child for no reason.
Really?
Yeah, literally.
And what did they used to say to you about this?
My granny would shout at me and tell me she should stop shouting. Stop it. There's no reason for you to do this, so why are you doing it?
Did you know why you was doing it? What was you going through, like, mentally, for you to just be screaming for hours?
I didn't actually know what I was doing myself. I'd literally sit there and scream and cry for hours. It took me hours sometimes to calm down from it.
Do you feel like you was struggling?
Very much so. I struggled as a child.
With what, though?
Just like trying to get a point, because I didn't understand what I was trying to say to him sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Did you understand why they was telling you to shut up?
No.
Didn't explain it or anything?
No, not really.
So that must have made you feel like not wanted there, I guess.
It made it worse, I think.
In what way?
Because if they tell me to stop and like random shout at me to tell me to stop it, I'd get worse.
Is that because of frustration you was getting worse?
Very much. Yeah, definitely because of frustration.
How long did this go on for?
This has gone on all my life.
Mm-hmm.
It still went on until I was like 30, probably 16, 17, till I left home at 16, 17.
So, was you taking drugs whilst you lived with your grandparents?
No.
You didn't take no drugs?
No.
Did you feel like you needed something?
No.
But you just weren't sure what?
Yeah, I knew there was something not right, but I didn't know what.
With your mental
health,
your mental health, or
when I was sort of like 14, 15 at school, and my late school ages, they got people. They did start to dig in a bit, investigate what was trying to get the help, to see what was wrong.
So the schools noticed that there was something.
Yeah, my high school noticed.
Did you go to a mainstream school?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
And how did you get on at school? I
got on all right. Not too good, but I did. I had special needs help.
Because of, like...
So one, I can't read and write properly.
Yeah, same with me as well. So, yeah, I think there's more people out there like us than people would like to admit. You know, I think we are clever, just in a different way to being academic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand it in my own way, not like written. If I see a bit of paper, I can say if someone explains it to me, and then
more
I can do it.
More practical than you are. Yeah, same, exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same. So, like, when was it? So you moved out of home. Where did you go to?
I went from that home to Hearts in Felixstowe, into a hostel.
So a hostel.
Yeah.
Did your grandparents put you there, or was it a choice?
It was a choice because of the relationship breakdown.
Doesn't sound like much of a choice.
No. I left because I thought that my relationship with my grandparents would get better.
And did it?
It did at the time. And then now...
In what way did you feel like it was better? They started understanding you or something?
They started understanding that, like, I had my problems.
Okay. And
then we'd talk more, and we'd be closer because I wasn't in their pocket all the time.
Mm-hmm. So you're 17 years old.
Yeah. With
learning difficulties and ADHD.
Yeah.
And what else was it?
PTSD.
What was the PTSD for?
Traumatic stress.
Yeah. From what?
From birth.
Okay, from being left by your mum.
Yeah.
now you're older and you look back over it, what are your thoughts about your mum just not making the effort to be a part of your life?
I'm actually quite sad that she wasn't there for my life, because like every other kid has their own mum, and she was young and would be able to do young things with you.
What are the things that you wanted to do?
I don't want her to like go to school, mum, be able to go to classes, mums and stuff like that. Different things. Like my grandparents didn't do much, like go to play centres and stuff as a kid. I didn't really do much of that I can remember.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, I would be embarrassed my mum taking me to school just because she'd kiss me on the head or kiss me on the cheek or something and then wipe it off with her hand and stuff. And then you're wishing that your mum did take you to school. That must have been hard for you.
Yeah, it's like Nanny took me to school grandma took me to school every day. And everyone's going, oh, Granny's dropping you off again. And it's like, no, it's actually, she's technically my mum.
Mm. Did they know that you lived with your grandparents?
Yeah.
Did you get any form of bullying for that?
No.
That's good. Kids can be cruel, man. I just weren't sure how it works.
Kids can be very cruel these days.
I didn't really know my nan and granddad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do envy people like yourself that did have a relationship with their grandparents. As as hard as it must have been sometimes for you and for them. But yeah, I never really got the chance to spend much time with my grandparents.
I spent too much time with my grandparents.
Yeah, I think you can have too much of a good thing. So they say. Do you know what I mean? It's like.
Very much. I spent too much time with them.
Did you ever try and reach out to find out much about your mum?
Not recent. I tried to ask my grandparents, but my grandparents just don't even want to know.
Do they speak to you?
They're like, no, don't even talk to us about it. To this day, you'll go walk into my grandma's house and talk about Tracy, and they'd go...
Tracy being your mum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd go, stop there.
Your mum must have been some piece of work to have her own mum and dad not even want her name mentioned in their house.
Yeah. I don't know too much about my mum's what exactly went on because I was too young to know.
She must have done something. Because normally parents tend to stand by their kids no matter what, especially the older generation. For her name not to even get mentioned, how does that make you feel, not being able to speak to the people that you should be able to speak to?
It does hurt me, because at the end of that, it is my mother. And I would like to see my mother. Be able to get in contact with my mother and find my mum these days. My plan is to find which care home she is and then get in contact with her.
You'd like to do that, would you?
I very much so would like to do that. I spoke to my sister about it and she said if that's what I want to do, go for it.
Maybe we can look into that together.
That's something I would actually like some help to do.
Yeah, I think we could help you. We get Jamie, the cameraman. You're really good at that stuff, aren't you, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do to help you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just I'm trying to get my head around how you're feeling as a girl. I know what it was like not to grow up without my dad.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know. I wouldn't like to think what it'd be like to grow up without my mum. As much of a pain in the arse.
Didn't grow up with mum or dad.
That's what I'm saying. You must have really felt rejected.
I did as a child, yeah, very much so. My sister is more like a mum to me because she was doing everything. She looked after me. She changed my nappies because she's 5 years older than me. She did everything for me when I was little.
I've heard you speak about your sister a few times, and it's always been in high regard. So, like, she must be someone really special to you.
My sister's very close, very special to me.
Is she your true blood sister?
Yeah.
From the same mum?
Yes.
Was she born the same way on drugs?
No. My sister was clean.
Really?
Mhm.
So there was a time in your mum's life where... Do you know why she turned to drugs?
My mum had been on a while, but apparently when Rosie was born, she stopped. And then when I was born, she went back again.
So she had a break from drugs while she was carrying your sister, and then when she was carrying you, she didn't. Does that play on your mind?
It does a little bit sometimes.
In what way?
Because it's like, why did she do that for my sister, but possibly not me? But then she might have been going, I don't know, she might have been going for a hard time herself.
I was just about to say that.
And like, there's different people go through different times, different things. Like, I'm going for a difficult time now. She could have been going through this herself.
Mm-hmm. It's quite sad, really, isn't it?
Very.
So when I met you, you was very, very addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And the night I actually met you, you was on drugs, wasn't you?
Yes, I was.
And there was a slight argument that was happening that night.
Yes.
And I was kind of just like the bystander and just listening to everything, and then we started talking, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
it's gone from there, really, isn't it?
It has.
And you've helped me come to where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really glad that I have met you to be able to help you this way. So when was the first time that you contemplated doing drugs? So, bearing in mind, you know what drugs have done to your life already.
It's basically, I left a really nasty relationship, and they put me into Checkers Hotel. Mm-hmm. Ipswich, like a hostel. It's absolutely awful. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Yeah, I know about Checkers, yeah.
And then I was basically in a vulnerable situation, and that's when it all started.
What started?
All the drugs started from there.
Tell us about it.
I was basically mixing with the wrong crowds of people. People giving me stuff, and I didn't really know what they were, what they are, because I'm naive, because of my problems. I've technically got a brain of like a 5-year-old when it comes to things like that.
Mm-hmm. So you'd been given this drug,
yeah,
by a friend.
Yeah,
a friend that was living in Checkers with you. Did you not see? Was this the first night you was in there?
Like a few or 4 nights afterwards.
Wow, that soon?
Yeah.
So you must have been socialising with these people and seeing them like off their nut, and you see what they were taking, and you see like the mess they were probably got into.
Yeah.
And you still went ahead and
thought it was fun at the time, but now my it's left me with a lot of health problems and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So you'd done. What drug was it?
Ketamine.
So you started your first drug on ketamine. Mm-hmm. That is a seriously hard drug for you to start with.
Yeah.
Most people would do a bit of weed or a pill or something, but you went straight in with Ket. So, did you have to pay for this drug to start with? You was just given it?
Yeah.
How did you take it? How do you take ketamine?
Sniff it. It's powder form.
Mm-hmm. How did it make you feel?
It clears my head, makes me stops my anxiety and stuff now.
That night, the first time you took it,
I got a massive rush of buzz off it.
You're smiling. I can tell that really,
I don't know how. I don't actually remember how it made me feel.
I think you do.
I don't.
That when you said it, you smile on your face when you took your first hit, and they always say the first hit is the best hit.
It was the best hit of my life. It was. So I complete rush off it. Like buzzing, sat there, laughing my tits off for hours. Wasn't me. I was a different person.
In what way?
I felt human.
What do you mean?
I felt like myself when I'm on it. When I was doing it, I felt like a different person that felt normal to me. That's why I do it. Or I did it.
What you mean? You felt sharper. You felt relaxed.
Yeah, I felt completely relaxed, and I could explain my feeling, talk differently. I had different expected ways, different ways of thinking and ways of doing things.
So it opened you up.
Yeah.
So you then started taking drugs because you preferred that person rather than the one that you was.
Yes.
Did you fall in love with the drug?
Yes, I did. And it's got to the top of me.
How fast did you realise that all the rest of the times that you took the drug, trying to chase that first feeling, knowing that you ain't getting that ever again?
Probably sort of like 2 to 3 weeks into it. And then it fades out. It's faded out over time.
It's crazy, isn't it? You spend your whole time putting stuff up your nose that you only know what it is by the name, but not actually what's in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To feeling like a completely different person, to no longer feeling like that when you take the drug, but still trying to chase that feeling.
Yeah.
When did you realise you were addicted?
Probably 6 months ago now.
How long have you been doing the drug?
About a year.
So a year till today?
Just over a year, I reckon.
Just over a year. So just half of the time,
Yeah.
you realised that you had a problem.
Yeah.
And before then, you didn't realise it wasn't a problem because you was with other people that was doing it
Yeah,
as well?
I was still in like that kind of environment. I was still in hostels. I've been into Kingsley, Checkers, and then I got a flat, and then my staff and my flat actually said, "Look, you've got a problem."
What made them say that to you?
Because I'd go home off my nut, couldn't even walk straight. They'd say, "Look, what if you're every day now you're coming back like this."
How much were you doing a day?
I could do anywhere up to £200 a day if I had it. If I had the funds to.
How was you getting your drugs? Because if you were off your face every day, you wouldn't have had a job to be able to do this.
No, I had my own benefits, and I had at the time my family was support. Like, I'd be lying to family to get the money and stuff. I'd be doing anything I could to get the drugs.
It's mad how a woman that brought you into this world and abandoned you, didn't have nothing to do with you whatsoever, and you was angry the fact that she chose drugs and everything over you,
And I've now gone that way.
for you to be addicted and to becoming someone you don't even know nothing about.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know how that's happened or how that's worked.
It's mad. You're so young. How old are you now?
21, nearly 22.
It really does make me feel sad because, like, when I speak to you, and I've known you for a little while now, and I'm helping you get through the levels in your life to be able to try and get you completely clean. We're doing good so far, minus a blip or two. But you're such a nice person.
I'm a lovely person when I'm not on this shit.
I must admit, when you are on gear, you are very, like, spaced and distant. You kind
Very much so, am I? Just kind of chills me out.
There's chilled, and then there's monged.
Yeah. Depends on how much quantity I do it.
So you've gone from £200 a day. How did your family even not realise?
It wasn't
that?
exactly that. It wasn't. Might not even £200. Probably like £200 a week more to like sometimes.
Is what you got to.
Yeah.
That's still crazy.
But people were giving it to me free anyway because I was in the like sat there with them all and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the time.
Did you have to do anything for this free drugs? Nothing.
No.
No one took advantage of you in ways that they shouldn't have done to be able to give you the drugs.
I've had a few people taking advantage of me for that. Yes.
In what way?
Sex wise.
That's crazy.
Very crazy.
That's crazy that you would trade something so intimate for something so cheap. I know drugs ain't cheap. You can tell by the way that you spent money on it, and I'm around people that spend serious amounts of money. But the fact that you've put yourself out there like that for drugs.
It was like twice. That was it.
And how much did they give you?
Huh?
How much
I
drugs
can't
did they give you
remember.
for that? You can't remember.
I said like it was a long time ago. Early days of doing the drugs.
I don't judge you in any
Yeah,
way
I know
whatsoever.
you don't at all.
I promise you that now. I truly
Yeah.
ain't judging you. I'm just trying to have an understanding.
Yeah.
And I want people to know the seriousness of girls suffering with addiction. You know, you see when men suffer with addiction and things like that, their ways of getting drugs is very different to how women is, because like a man can't trade sex for drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and if he does, he's got to be something real special. And most people that do take drugs ain't really special. Do you know what I mean? A bit drawn in, you know, not exactly, you know, and the people that he's going to be attracting are around the same as what he is.
Yeah.
So they tend to the violence and robbing.
Yeah.
You know, but for you, it was, you know, sex and other bits and pieces. Did you ever sell drugs?
No.
Did you ever shot, like take drugs for people for you to be able to?
Never done that at all.
So you subsidise your drug habit through
And like family and mind benefits and stuff like that. And just did it my own way.
When you think about that, how do you feel?
Quite sad that I've done that.
Which part?
Like in general, that it got to that point that I had to do that.
Sex for drugs.
Yeah. Turned out the guy that I was getting it off we ended up being together in the end, in a relationship for a little while.
Did you get with him just solely so he'd give you the drugs?
Yeah.
Not because it was love, or?
We weren't in love, but it was more, I think, it was a bit of both, to be honest with you.
I always find that when you get with someone new, you always feel like you're in love, and then when you split up with them because it's toxic and you meet somebody else that's like truly, truly better than the last person, you realise that, wow, this is actually love. That's not love. That wasn't love.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
And it was more like servicing a need.
Yeah. Was a little bit, to be honest. Like, he was there to supply my drugs. That's what it was more of.
I really feel for you that you had to put yourself in a position of questioning exactly where your place was in the world for you to be able to do the things you've done for something that has led you to the way your life has been from day one, you know?
Yeah, my life hasn't been good from day one at all. From birth.
Do you feel like that you was feeling like you needed something and you weren't sure what, and then when you done your drugs, it was like...
That's what it was, the switch. Changed the switch.
This is what I needed.
Yeah, I did.
I guess being born on Class A drugs and having no choice, you're going to have that cluck forever.
Yeah.
And if you don't do drugs, I guess you'll never really know what that feeling is.
No.
And then for you to do it, it almost would feel normal, because from the second that you was created, you've had drugs in your system.
Yeah.
I can never imagine doing that to my child.
I couldn't imagine doing it to my own child, no.
Do you feel like you would have children?
Yes, I would. I would like children, yes.
Are you able to have children?
Yes.
Because from all of the drug abuse that you've done, especially with ketamine, it does affect your organs greatly. And this has with you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
So you taking drugs, ketamine.
Yeah.
Is it just ketamine?
Yes, it is.
So you've just been on ketamine?
Yes.
No other drugs?
No, nothing at all.
Tell me what it's done to your body.
It's ruined my kidneys and my bladder. Now we're starting kidney dialysis. I'm waiting for bladder people, specialists.
A life-threatening disease.
It's killed my body. Hence why I need the help to stop. And I want to talk about it, to be able to let people know not to do it because you don't want to be in the state I'm in.
But you've took drugs and it's literally attacked your organs to the point of failure.
Yes.
You having dialysis. Tell. I know what dialysis is, but just explain what dialysis is.
It builds your kidneys up. They pump blood back. They build the blood and put air into it again.
So it's putting oxygen back into your blood.
Yeah.
Because you need oxygen to be able to make the blood travel around your body, right?
Repair the kidneys, yeah.
And is this an everyday thing? Is this like...
Once a week.
So you have to go to hospital...
Yeah.
Once a week...
Yeah.
To have blood put into your body...
Yeah. My blood, like, cycled.
22. 21.
21.
21 years old.
It's disgusting.
What's disgusting
that I've got myself to this state.
What I feel is disgusting is that I think you have been very vulnerable within your life, and the people that have given you drugs or got you hooked on drugs may have taken some form of advantage of that, which has left you in serious danger of dying.
Very much so. I agree that they're taking advantage of me.
I mean, you have to take some responsibility here.
I know I have.
You know, because the responsibility of you taking that drug is you.
It was my fault.
It's you. You know, because if someone put drugs in front of my face and told me to do it, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But...
because I was really low and vulnerable at the time.
But even if I was low, I still wouldn't do it. So you have to take some responsibility there. You can't pass the blame completely on...
I don't pass the blame on to other people. It's my own fault.
But they have to take responsibility for what they've done too, you know. That's definitely a joint... You know, I don't pin the blame on them. I don't pin the blame on you. Equally, you both have done this to you, but you mostly because you could... But could you stop?
It, yeah.
Was you in a place then to stop?
Yes.
You was in a place to stop?
I was. So only like, did stop, and it was clear. It was like, it wasn't doing it daily, it was like, got to a point where it was whenever I had the money to be able to do it. Because like family stopped helping me and stuff, so I did stop. Because I needed my family's like, don't stop and we'll help still be there for you.
Did they know they were giving you money for drugs?
No.
If they would have known...
They wouldn't have done it.
What did they think they were giving you money for?
Just because they knew I was in so much shit and they knew I didn't have nothing, they'd give me it.
Do your family know that you was... selling yourself for drugs?
No.
So this would be the first time that they'd hear it?
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to say?
My grandma will cry.
Oh. Really?
My grandma probably won't listen to it.
Why? What makes you say that?
Because they don't talk to me. They don't have nothing to do with me.
Why don't they have nothing to do with you?
They've not had nothing to do with me for 3 months now.
But for what reason? Because you're on drugs?
Just because they can't cope with it anymore. They've had enough. They don't know how to handle it themselves.
And your sister?
My sister talks to me. She doesn't even know either.
She doesn't know you do drugs?
No.
Or she doesn't know that...
She doesn't know I do drugs.
She doesn't know you do drugs? How do you feel about... Because this girl you look up to, right?
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about...
She's going to be disappointed in me. But she'll be there to help me.
Will she?
Yeah. She'll stand by me.
I believe she will. From what you say and how you speak about your sister, I believe you will. You know, you should have given your sister the respect and told her that you were struggling, because I think she would have been a real help for you
Yeah.
to be able to.
Probably should have spoken to my sister at the time, but I didn't.
I would like you to, before this gets aired out and she finds out this way the same as everybody else, I think it's very important that you maybe have this conversation with your sister, so she's not
Very much so.
totally shocked.
Yeah.
Totally shocked by it, because I think you know, because she's going to be there for you, it's nice to be able to have that solid support in your life, especially when you're going through this life-changing experience of becoming clean.
Yeah.
I think it's important that the person that you look up to the most is there for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that you establish that relationship with her sooner rather than better, because if she found out this way, I think you would hurt her. She'd still be there for you, I believe.
It's going to hurt either way.
This way more.
Yeah.
This way more.
I do need to go and sit down and have a conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
And say, look, Rana, I need to tell you something, but I don't know how to tell you.
I think honesty is the best policy. Just go and tell her. You know, despite it doesn't matter how it comes out, just as long as the outcome is good. You know, of you two being able to not be fully broken. You know.
Yeah.
I think you should do that. Will you do that for me?
Yes, I will.
Good. So you've gone from pillar to post with housing,
Yeah.
drugs,
Yeah.
struggling with ADHD. Well, how did you get found out? Well, you said that you've recently been found out about
My
this.
ADHD was recently found out by Walker Close Ipswich.
What's that?
Like mental health team.
Mm-hmm. So you're under the mental health team. How comes you're under the mental health team?
Because I suffer from really bad depression, anxiety.
Your doctor referred you for that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like that's doing?
I'm under my medication now, and I'm on sort of much better for them.
What medication are you taking?
I take Concerta, amitriptyline, and sertraline.
How does that make you feel?
My Concerta makes me feel a lot better. It makes me a lot calmer.
Does any of this affect your kidneys and your liver, like taking these tablets as well?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't really.
Because all drugs, no matter what they are, whether they're prescription or not, ends up in the bloodstream.
Yeah.
The bloodstream runs through your organs, you know. So like, has your doctor?
I've said they're safe for me to carry on taking them.
Okay. I just want you to be safe, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't want you to start struggling anymore, you know, with the problem, because you've already put yourself in a position where your organs are failing because of the drug abuse. Are you still taking drugs now?
Well, I was taking days clear until yesterday. I had a slip again.
What made you relapse?
Stress. Worry.
What are you worried about?
Just, like everything got on top of me. Like worried about losing things, because we're at the moment, me and my partner are trying to move out of where we are now. And I didn't think we were going to get another house to go to in time. It still got too much to me.
That's enough pressure for anybody, you know, despite whether, you know, on top of it you've got the addiction to drugs and sorry, anyone that's looking to find an escape, especially if you're an addict, you would instantly resort back to your choice of drug. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Did you get some?
Yes.
How much did you do?
£10 worth.
And today?
No, nothing.
How do you feel? Because 10 days clean and then going back on it, I'm sure that must make you feel sick, no?
It made me feel awful. I cried my eyes out when I did it. After I did it, when I realised what I'd done. Because I was so clean. I'd come that far.
10 days is a long way.
It was a struggle, but I did it.
But now you're back to square one.
Yeah.
you know, like, explain to me, because I don't understand it, of being 10 days clean. You must know what it's like to start over again.
It's shit, because now I've got all the cravings back, and like, start thinking like I want more, but I can't have it because I've got to try again. I've got to try all this over again. I've got the pains back in my kidneys from doing it again. It didn't do me no good at all.
So even though you know that these are shutting your organs down and you can die, literally, the hospital have told you if you carry on, you'll die, right?
Yes.
And
But I still went and did it because I was an idiot. For myself.
are drugs that important to you?
No, they're not
That it's worth your life?
No.
Sacrificing your relationship?
My life's drugs. I need to stop. I need my relationship and my life come first. That's why I'm doing it. Coming off them.
Do you think that you used the struggle of losing the house and moving as an excuse just to be able to do drugs?
No, it was just all got too much. I literally couldn't cope anymore. I just got too much. I had to do something to calm myself down.
I find it hard to understand addiction, just because I've never been really addicted to a drug, alcohol. I've never been addicted to anything like that, so I find it really hard. But I do sympathise with you, and I do find it sad that, you know, being such a young lady with the whole world in front of her, and you're trading the only thing that you've got for something so weak.
I need to stop my life and getting my life on track. I want to have children. I want to get them out, settle down in a relationship, get forward. I don't want to be dead at 21.
But you know that if you take a drug, no matter what it is or the consumption it is, that could be the last time that you even breathe oxygen. You're literally choosing drugs over your life. Like, you could have died yesterday because your body would have been in shock from taking drugs, especially after having a 10-day break with the amount of drugs that you were taking. Last night, that could have been your last.
Yes, it could have.
Do you think about that?
No, I didn't think like that at all.
Is it only now you're thinking of that? Because I'm telling you.
No, I did think that last night after I did it. Once I'd done it, I got home. I did think that. I could have died from it. But now the more you say it, the more I think about it.
You say you want a family.
Yeah.
And you say that you want to progress in life in a much better place. I don't disbelieve that you want that. I just don't know whether the drugs are more important to you than you
They're not.
living.
They're not.
Because if you can choose a drug over life...
Yeah. I've got to do it for my own sake. I need to be here for with my sister, my uncle that's disabled, Glenn, my partner.
No, you need to do it for you.
Myself. I cannot.
Listen, you cannot sit there and start being like, I need to be right because this person needs me, that person needs me. You're on drugs, girl. And no one needs you whilst you're on drugs, because you ain't good for nothing. Like looking after someone, because you're not even looking after yourself.
Yeah.
Your uncle,
I need to do it for myself.
Your uncle needs you.
Yeah, he's fully disabled.
Your uncle's disabled, and he would have help. So that's an excuse of you trying to convince me.
I helped him most of his life in a chair.
You need to do it for yourself.
Yes, I do need to do it for myself, very much so. I want to do it for myself. I've got to do it for myself.
You have no choice. Your body's shutting down. You're dying.
Yeah.
So you truly have put a value on your own life,
Very much so.
and that's
have I?
£10.
Yeah. Shouldn't have done it.
But do you understand what I'm saying to you? You valued your life at £10 a time.
Yeah. It's awful.
Do you really value yourself that cheap?
No. I don't.
Because the girl that I know, the girl that
Yeah.
I met in my mum's kitchen,
Yeah.
is not a £10 girl.
No, I know. I'm not at all. I've got more to living for than that.
You have. And the fact that you wake up every day is just testament of what you need to live for. You know, all we have is time. And I would do anything to get more time to be able to be here to help people. And I don't know what price I'd be able to put on my life.
It's not a price, is it? It's the...
Women are the key to life. They are, the world revolves around women. Yeah, this is a woman's world. I believe that. Because there is a lot of men out there, more men than not, really, really depend on a woman. You know?
Yeah.
And £10. That makes me sad.
It makes me sad that I put my life on the risk for that.
Where do you go from now? Where are you now in your head? Because right now you're back to square one. You're struggling.
Disappointed in myself. What I did there. Because now I've got to start all over again. I'm going to struggle. I'm going to fight. I have to struggle again to do it.
I will be here to help you.
Thank you.
You know I will
I
be.
know you will. I appreciate that.
But I need you to fight for it.
I'm going to fight for it. I've got to fight for myself.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Because I feel like you just said it to me.
No, I haven't. Inside, I think I need to do it myself. I have said that.
I do worry about you.
No, everyone's swearing about me. I'm worried about myself. I've put myself at risk and could have died over it.
So what with you having your mum not in your life,
Yeah,
your grandparents there,
yeah.
I haven't really heard you speak about your dad at all. Like, do you know who he is?
Yeah, Steve Wright.
Steve Wright.
Yeah. One that killed all them girls is now in prison.
Wow.
I didn't really know this till recently. I was really shocked by it.
So your mum
Yeah,
is a drug addict,
yeah.
and your dad was a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is very much so.
It's blown my mind.
Not many people know about that.
Did you know about it?
Not till recently.
What do you mean?
Not probably 3-4 years ago.
So hang on a minute. You only found out that your dad was Steve Wright
4 or 5 years ago.
How did you find that out?
Social services. When I made inquiries about it when I left grandparents and stuff.
So you was trying to find out who your parents were and where they were, and then they just hit you with, "Oh yeah, this is your dad."
Yeah.
When they said his name,
Yeah.
did you know that it was him?
No, not at the time. I didn't.
What are your thoughts on your dad?
My dad must have. My dad's my dad at the end of the day. I don't really have much thought on it, but I think what he's done is awful.
It's fucking disgusting.
Disgusting. Awful. I don't really want much to do with my dad at all because of what he's done.
That's absolutely crazy.
Very much so. It's crazy. I don't like the thought of it. That he's done that to girls my own age. He deserves to be where he is.
He deserves more than where he is. He deserves
To be dead.
And there'll be a lot of people that backed you on that. You know? It's... That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Have you spoke to her?
No, I've never spoken to my dad.
Do you think you would speak to her?
I don't think I would, to be honest with you.
What do you say to, like, such a fucking disgusting man?
I wouldn't talk. I don't want nothing to do with him because he's such a disgusting twat.
He's a fucking scumbag.
I don't want people say, why do you get in contact with him? I'm like, well, he's an idiot. I don't want nothing to do with my dad. That someone that kills someone is a twat. He's a scumbag.
He didn't just kill someone. He took vulnerable people and he absolutely fucking made the choice to take their lives. And he put fear through every single girl in the county of Suffolk.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I don't really talk about it or like think about it.
Does anyone know that he's your dad?
There's a few people, but not many.
I can't imagine you bragging about that either.
I don't say it because I don't want people thinking, oh, well, it's heard the feel like makes me smell shit inside.
It what?
It makes me feel shit inside.
That he's your dad?
Yeah. Because then other people are going to go, oh, what's she doing with it?
I don't think anyone would blame you for what your dad is.
No, but they judge me by it, I reckon.
I don't know how they could judge you because you were brought up more or less in care and you only found out who your dad was like 5 years ago. I don't know how I would cope with that.
I don't really know because I don't really like talk about it or haven't really thought about it.
Do you know much about like what he did?
No, I haven't. Haven't read about it much myself because I'd just be really upset that it's happened. It hurt me to think my dad has done that to someone.
So he took it upon himself to kill a whole bunch of young girls for no reason. Was your mum a prostitute?
Yes, she was.
She was. Were they in a relationship?
No. I don't know too much about what happens when I was with my mum or my dad, to be honest with you.
Is your mum still alive? Do you know if your mum's still alive?
Yes, she is. She's in a care home. Ill.
So was she in a relationship with him, or was she just...
I haven't got a clue.
You don't know?
My grandparents haven't really spoken to me about it, or anyone hasn't really spoken to me about it.
Did your grandparents know?
I don't know. They've never told me.
Of course, if they're not talking to you, you wouldn't know. So did the social workers, when they explained to you who your dad was, did they explain to you exactly,
Yeah,
what did they say to you?
that Steve's right. It's the one that's in prison for killing these girls. But because till I'm 25, they can't really explain much more to me with my mum and my dad.
Till you're 25?
Yeah, because the grandparents have got a full residence order over me.
So you're in limbo.
Yeah.
You don't and will not know the truth. And if you carry on taking drugs, you won't even make it to 25 to even find out the truth. That's some powerful shit.
Very much so. That's why I need to stop.
I will happily help you find your mum.
Thank you. Something I very much would like help with.
But your dad can rot in fucking jail.
Yeah, he can stay there.
He can rot in jail. It's disgusting what he done.
Yeah.
Absolutely foul. And I lost my brother. Somebody murdered my brother,
Yeah.
and I know how that feels.
It's horrible.
So I can relate to the ladies, the mums and the dads that lost their daughters because of your dad.
He got pulled in for the Vicky Hall thing, didn't he?
She was a friend of mine.
She's a very good friend of my auntie's.
We were in the same class and everything at school.
My auntie literally had been out that night with her that it happened. Ricky went one way, and my auntie Vicky went the other way, and that's when it happened. She just left her.
Well, they were. She didn't just leave her. They were like going back off to their
going
homes,
home, but
not thinking anything like that would happen.
Vicky went to mum's down Mill Lane, Trimley, Mill Pouch, and Vicky went down the high road in Trimley.
Yeah. As far as they were concerned, they were going to see each other tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And it was
never happened
because of your dad. Fucking scumbag.
Scumbag ain't the word.
Do you know what? You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. For someone like him to just keep doing that for self-gratification is fucking disgusting.
What did he get out of it? Nothing.
Yeah, but like even still now, he doesn't even say. He still denies it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you'll never know why he did what he did. The only thing that you'll ever know is everyone is waiting for that day for him to just fucking die.
Everyone will for a party.
I don't think the heavens would open up for someone like him.
No.
I really don't. And it's really hard to imagine that you belong to something so evil. Because you're just so pure. Minus the drugs and stuff. But as a person, you really are an amazing girl. I've only known you for a little while, right? This is all new to me, I think, like, with the right support, which you've got with Glenn, that's your partner.
Yeah.
I will definitely help you wherever you need it. You know what I mean? You just got to make sure that you stay right for yourself and the person and the people that are in your life to help you progress, like Glenn.
Yeah.
You're going to go and speak to your sister. You're going to
I might even do that tomorrow morning. Take
Brilliant.
Glenn with me.
Absolutely.
Because I know she's at home tomorrow morning.
Take what?
Take Glenn with me.
Yeah.
And go and do that. I might even message her as soon as I'm finished here.
I like that.
Or ring her and say I need to come and see you. I've got something to talk to you about.
Don't scare her overnight though, man. Like, that's a whole night to worry. Because if someone done that to me, I'd be like, fuck, you need to come now. You need to come tell me. Yeah, 100%. Not that, I've got something to tell you. I'll tell you later. That'd do my nutting, and it does my nutting.
Would
All
it?
right. So probably either text her and just say, "Are you in tomorrow?
morning?
I'm gonna come over." Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'll do that then.
Yeah. Don't be like, "I've got to tell you something tomorrow," because if she's like me, you'd be coming to my house tonight to talk to me because I won't sleep. I'll
She
be like, "Just
wouldn't.
tell me now."
Yeah, she will be actually. That's probably not a good idea.
Do you know what? I'm really happy that you are nothing like that fucking idiot. And I am sorry that you have to hear that,
Yeah.
but I'm not sorry because he deserves it. Do you understand
Yeah.
what I mean? And I hope that when people do watch this, they do not tie you with the same brush, because I know that you ain't like that.
Yeah.
And you have to be a real fucking piece of work to be able to do what he's done.
It should be a horrible piece of work.
Yeah. He is fucking disgusting. And I know I keep saying it and I am sorry, but I'm not sorry.
He needs to be heard about it.
Oh, it's heard. It's heard because there's no way that scumbag could be glorified in any way whatsoever, you know. But you are this shining light that comes from him. So we're going to look for your mum.
Yeah.
We're going to... I don't want nothing to do with your dad.
I don't either.
But we're going to look for your mum.
Definitely, please. That's something you can help me with.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we'll try and get hold of the social workers that told you about this. His name's not even worth mentioning. And we're going to see what they can find out.
Yeah.
What information they can give us to direct us towards
Mum.
Where your mum is. And we'll just see.
My uncle might know more where she is, because that's what my sister said last time. My sister got it from Andy that she was in a care home.
Do you speak to your uncle?
Not at the moment, I don't, not really.
Why is that?
I don't know, they're just not talking to me because all this drugs and stuff.
Mm. Is there any way you can build that bridge?
Yeah, I reckon I'd build my bridge back to my uncle really easily.
I think maybe if you just explain to him, maybe send him a message, just explaining, look, I've been lost a long time, but I'm starting to find my feet again.
Yeah.
And I'm getting clean because I've got the right help.
Yeah.
And I'm on the path for the mend. And the reason why I was using is because, and then just explain yourself, you know.
It's best to go around and talk to him about it.
Are you able to just go knock on the door?
I could walk in his house any day and he'd accept me there.
Then it's you that's turning your back on your family.
Yeah.
They're not turning their back on you.
My grandparents have turned their back on me. They don't want me. They've told me not to come round. Not to walk in their house.
Because of the drugs that you're taking?
Yeah.
Was there anything else that happened from why they can just turn their back on you like that?
Well...
That's a slow mend.
Yeah.
You know? I can't promise you that it all is going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I can promise you that...
Things are going to get better.
And you're going to have the support. And you'll get that. I will help you. You know? And
yeah.
I know your fella Glenn. I've known him since I was
He's the best part of my life, and he supported me right the way through this.
Then stop doing it. Stop putting him through it. Stop putting yourself through it. Because I know that he loves you.
Yeah,
right?
He doesn't. I love him.
But you don't show the love when you're choosing a £10 bag over what you're claiming is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
If you could go back to that first feeling of drugs.
Yeah.
And you've been clean for a year.
Yeah.
But you could go back to that first feeling. Would you do it again? Be truthful.
No.
Would you do it again?
I wouldn't. If I've gone a year, I wouldn't. Wouldn't do it. I would not do it. If I've been clean, I'm clean. I would not go back.
Is that the truth?
Yes, that is the truth.
Then you can stop yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's not many people that I know that can do drugs that wouldn't say yes to that first hit that they ever had, that first feeling again.
It wouldn't be worth doing because then I'd be back to square one.
Do you understand that though?
No, I do understand. I said that. I've said that when I come clean, I want to stay clean because I'll be back to doing it again and then back to all this health and all this shit again.
So from this, where are you going with? What's next?
Well, basically, as of from today, starting over again, and then staying
How many times
clean.
do you have to start over though before
I'm
you...
just going to do it to stay clean. I'm going to speak to my drug workers and other people to see what they can do to put in place maybe something else instead, like a different. Maybe I could do something different instead when I feel like that. A coping mechanism.
I know there's a drug that you can take called Subutex, but that's when I don't know whether that's for ketamine.
That's for heroin.
That's for heroin and crack, yeah. Is there a drug that's similar to that where you take the tablet and it sort of rejects the drugs that you put in your body? And if you carry on taking it, can poison you? Yes, it can be bad. But is there not a drug like Subutex for ketamine?
I'm waiting to see a doctor, specialist, to find out.
Are you saying that because you haven't made the appointment, or are you saying that
No,
because...
I've spoken to Turning Point. I speak to her once a week, but I'm waiting for the doctor that took an appointment to come through for her. She's referred me to their doctor, but they're busy, so I'm waiting for that letter to come through as we speak.
Can't you go to your doctor and explain to them that you've been referred, but it's taken too long and you fear that you're going to die? Because you're going to die. You will.
That might be an idea on Monday.
I think it's worth a try.
It is
If
worth
you're
a
true,
try.
if you're true about getting off, your life is in danger.
Mhm. My life is in danger.
Do you understand that though?
I do understand. I cry about it all night. I cry myself to sleep over because I know I'm going to die.
Do you speak to Glenn about this?
Yeah, so do. He knows that I sit there and cry myself to sleep over because I know I'm going to die. I'm worried about dying.
But you trade your life for £10.
Yeah, I'm not doing it again.
You cry about dying. But this is addiction though, isn't it?
Mhm.
This is what addiction does for you. It puts no value on anything other than the bag you're taking.
Yeah. It's not happening anymore because I don't want to die. It didn't make me feel good doing it anyway. It made me feel worse. So me doing that has actually said I don't need it. It's made me worse.
Worse.
Made me feel awful.
Okay.
So I'm not doing it. I don't need that feeling.
The buzz is gone, right?
Yeah. It made me paranoid and feel sick and horrible. I felt sick, I felt paranoid. Did not feel myself. I'm not doing it. Me and drugs are done.
Do you know what? You give me goosebumps when you just said that. Because I really, really want to believe you. I feel like...
After yesterday, the way that made me feel doing that, it made me feel awful. I felt sick. I had an instant headache. It was awful.
I want to believe you. I've definitely given you the benefit of the doubt. We're going to do everything we can. You've got the support.
Yeah. With your help, Glenn's help, all your lovely family, my own family, all the medical support, and my own self gonna do it. I'm doing it for myself.
It does boil down to you. If you could say anything to anyone that's thinking about trying drugs or having drugs forced upon them or not realising it's forced upon them, grooming them into taking a drug,
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
Don't do it because, one, it's not worth it because you'll end up where I am now, ill, with kidney problems, bladder problems, and it's really not worth it, guys. At the time they're fun, but you'll end up with long-term health conditions from them.
I think it's very important that people listen to the dangers that you have gone through to where you're at today. The fact that you was given your first drug to you being totally addicted to one drug, ketamine, for it killing your organs, to life-threatening problems that you've got now because of it. And drugs really ain't worth it, is it?
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to add
No, that's fine.
to anything?
That's it.
How do you feel?
Fine. Quite happy I've got it off my chest and opened up about stuff.
Podcasts are really good because, one, you're helping raise awareness. You know, you're 21 years old, organ failure, addictive person, you're addicted to drugs. You have been let down by
Scumbag of a father.
Yeah, he is a fucking scumbag. But you've been let down by your mother too. And every young girl needs a mum.
Yeah.
I believe. You know, and we're gonna do that. And we'll once we found your mum and we get that relationship, we'll do another thing on this to see how you're getting on.
Yeah, definitely. Very much so. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you for helping us spread awareness in drug addiction and mental health, you know.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking the time for that.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Like, really, I believe that there is people going to watch this and they...
I hope it helps people out there.
Me too.
All the young girls.
Me too. Me too. Like, really. Well done to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.